maximum product of two elements in an array. Here's the narration. You're given an array of numbers and you need to pick two of them at different positions. For each of the two numbers you pick, subtract one from it, then multiply the two results together. Your goal is to choose the two numbers that make this product as large as possible and return that largest value. Beginner level, an array is just a list of numbers in a row. This list might have 500 numbers in it, and that sounds scary. But here's a calm little secret. Only two of those numbers will ever decide the answer, the two biggest ones. Everything else, you're allowed to gently ignore. Take a breath. By the end of this video, you'll look at a giant list and think, I only need the top two. And that's it. Big companies like Amazon and Adobe sometimes use this as a warm-up question early in an interview. Why? Because it looks harder than it is, and they want to see if you stay calm instead of overcomplicating it. The same simple idea, just grab the top few from a list, is how things like game leaderboards pick their winners. So this is a friendly, useful pattern to learn. Let's read the task slowly. An index is just the position of a number in the list. The first spot, the second spot, and so on. You pick two different spots. You take the number at each spot and subtract one from it. Then you multiply those two results together. Your goal is to make that final answer as big as possible. For example, with the list 3, 4, 5, 2, the best choice is 4 and 5. Let's forget code for a moment and imagine a photo of runners crossing a finish line. If you only need to hand out a gold and a silver medal, you just look for who came first and who came second. The person who finished ninth doesn't change anything. That's exactly this problem. The list is the photo. And we only ever care about the top two finishers. Nice and simple. Here's the heart of it, and it's gentle. We subtract one from each number and then multiply. When you multiply, bigger numbers make a bigger result, always. So the two largest numbers in the list will always give the biggest answer. No smaller pair can ever beat them. That means our whole job is find the two biggest and then relax. You're done thinking. Let's give our plan a friendly name, the top two grab. We walk through the list one time, from start to finish, and as we go, we just remember two things. The biggest number we've seen so far, and the second biggest. That's the entire plan. We never need to keep track of more than two numbers, which is really reassuring. Let's start with the easiest way that works. Sorting just means putting the numbers in order from smallest to biggest. Once they're in order, the two largest numbers are sitting at the very end of the list. So we grab those last two, subtract one from each, and multiply. That's it, short and clear. Don't worry about memorizing the exact code yet, just follow the idea. After sorting, the numbers go smallest on the left to biggest on the right. So the very last box holds the biggest number, and the box right before it holds the second biggest. In Python, a small trick lets us peek at the end of a list. -1 means the last item, and -2 means the one just before it. That's all those negative numbers in the code mean. They simply count from the back. Now, a slightly cleverer way, and I'll walk you through it slowly. Instead of sorting the whole list, we take one gentle stroll through it, keeping two labels. First for the biggest so far, and second for the runner-up. Each time we meet a number that beats our current biggest, that new number becomes first, and the old biggest slides down to become second. By the end, we have our top two, without ever sorting. Let's look closely at one gentle detail. When a bigger number shows up, it becomes our new first. But we can't just throw away the old biggest. It might still be the second biggest number overall. So we carefully move it down into the second spot. That one small step is how we make sure we never accidentally lose our runner-up. Little step, big payoff. Let's try a tiny practice one together, no pressure. Pause the video for a second. Imagine the list is just two numbers, 2 and 2. Using our rule, subtract one from each, then multiply. What do you think the answer is? Take your time and make a guess. There are no wrong guesses here. Guessing is how you learn. The answer is 1. Remember the problem said we picked two different positions, not two different values. So even though both numbers are the same, they are at different spots, and that's totally allowed. 2 minus 1 is 1 times 2 minus 1, which gives 1. Little trace, done. And honestly, the first time I solved this, I wrongly assumed the two numbers had to be different values, and my code broke on repeats like this. So if that surprised you, you're in good company. There's also a very honest, plain approach. Just try every possible pair of numbers, work out the answer for each pair, and keep the biggest one. The good news is it's super easy to understand and hard to mess up. The downside is it's slow. If the list is big, it checks a huge number of pairs, even though we already know only the top two matter. Still, it's a perfectly fine place to start when you're learning. Let's gently compare how much work each way does. Big O is just a way of saying roughly how the work grows as the list gets longer. Trying every pair grows very fast. For 500 numbers, that's about 250,000 checks. Sorting is much lighter. And our top two grab is the lightest of all. It looks at each number just once, and it uses only those two little labels. For this problem, the one walkthrough version is the one to reach for. Let's calmly check the awkward situations. Repeated numbers. No problem. We track positions, not values, so repeats are fine. The list is promised to always have at least two numbers, so our first and second labels always get filled. And if every number is a 1, then the answer is 0, because 1 minus 1 is 0. It doesn't clash, it just gives the correct quiet little answer of 0. Let's wrap up gently. Remember that scary list of 500 numbers from the start? Only two of them ever mattered. The top two grab finds those two in a single walkthrough, using just two little labels. And now you'll start noticing the same. Just grab the top fuse idea in leaderboard and ranking problems too. You did great sticking with this. A new problem drops tomorrow, same time, where this exact trick helps with something a bit harder. See you then. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it's an easy tap.